to the Oregon Real Estate Podcast, where we feature helpful and interesting information on Oregon real estate. Now, here's your host, Realtor Roy Whiting.
Hello, and welcome to the Oregon Real Estate Podcast. My name is Roy Whiting, and I'm a licensed Oregon real estate broker with Certified Realty. Today's program is titled, Finding Your Real Estate Superhero. Now, it's true that most people don't necessarily think about a realtor when they're considering superheroes. But would you believe that there is a way you can determine if a realtor is really super? Find out today in this edition of the Oregon Real Estate Podcast. Let's start out with the definition of a superhero. Superheroes are considered to be more than mere heroes, in part because their achievements transcend what's humanly possible. Superheroes are often heroes with extraordinary, superhuman powers. So it's helpful to realize that no realtor is actually superhuman. However, in comparing performance, it becomes clear that sometimes a single real estate agent can outperform several other less productive realtors. And there are various reasons why this is true. One reason is due to what's called the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, where 20% of a group is frequently responsible for as much as 80% of the results. Drilling down on this concept, one reason has to do with experience. We normally don't expect a new attorney or accountant or engineer to have the same level of competence as someone who's been working in a profession for decades. One other element is education. We normally would expect someone who has more education in a certain field to be able to outperform those who don't have the same benefit. There are exceptions, of course, but that's one of the keys that we'll soon see in selecting a realtor. A third factor can be performance. There are a lot of people who will do a great job, even though they're fairly new to the business, or perhaps they don't have the benefit of advanced education in a given field. And this also holds true with realtors. Just because someone is new doesn't mean they aren't good at what they do. In the big picture, however, if you're looking for a realtor who has advanced education, ample experience, and is recognized by his or her peers as being truly outstanding as a realtor, the CRS designation is a very good place to start. If you check out the show notes over at OregonRealEstatePodcast.com, we've got some information there regarding the advanced education, performance, and experience for real estate agents who hold the CRS designation. But what does CRS stand for? Certified Residential Specialist. This designation recognizes a realtor as an expert in residential real estate sales. Realtors who hold the CRS designation have proved that they outperform the average realtor with a higher than average volume of sales, more experience, and more education. One of the real benefits here is that it doesn't need to cost a penny more. And by working with a realtor who holds the CRS designation, you're likely to avoid some real pitfalls given the fact that they have more experience than the average agent. In considering the use of your own real estate superhero, it helps to understand what they're able to achieve better than other realtors. After all, why use a superhero when any old hero will do? An agent is your representative. He or she advises and acts in your best interest, which includes fighting on your behalf. So who or what might a real estate superhero fight? Enter the real estate supervillain. In Oregon real estate, you're not likely to run into comic book characters or movie baddies. Instead, the kind of supervillain you're more likely to encounter is potentially deal killing. The list of enemies is relatively long, too. Issues that could put the kibosh on your real estate transaction include dry rot, deferred maintenance, a poor home inspection, a low appraisal, or a picky loan underwriter. If you're a home buyer, you can add certain challenging home seller attitudes to the list of transaction problems. And if you're a home seller, you might include certain home buyer attitudes as well. The bottom line is that in order to deal with potential problems affecting your home purchase or sale, it's clearly best to be prepared. And if you're knee-deep in transaction issues, that's not the best time to wish you were working with someone more qualified. Perhaps you've never heard of a CRS. That's hardly surprising. A CRS realtor is in the top 3% of all real estate agents in the United States. That means that 97% of the realtors you're likely to run into aren't a CRS. Given this elite status among realtors, consider working with a CRS the next time you buy or sell Oregon real estate. If you'd like, I'm very happy to put you in touch with one at no charge. That about wraps up today's program, Finding Your Real Estate Superhero. For now, this is Roy with Certified Realty, wishing you the very best.
Do you have a real estate question or perhaps an Oregon property to sell? Contact Roy today for a free consultation. Just call 800-637-1950 or send your email to roy@certifiedrealty.com. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Oregon Real Estate Podcast.